Okay. This is going to be a very different episode because the craziest thing just happened to me. And I don't think we meet people by chance or for just for any reason. I've always said that. I've always believed that. And this encounter that I just had, I don't think it was by chance at all. So I don't know who this episode is going to be for. I don't know. It's just, I feel like God has led me to this particular person to tell this particular story right now. So at 12:55 a.m., I'm telling it. So I just left the McDonald's in the city. I needed me a Sprite, no ice. And I'm sitting there in the parking lot, drinking my Sprite, no ice. And this lady comes up to my car. Okay. So she kind of startled me a little bit because I'm, looking at some content on my phone and drinking my Sprite. So I rolled the window down and I just listened to what she had to say. And she was like, it's an emergency. I need to go to this McDonald's around the corner. It's McDonald's on Cheshire Bridge. I was on Buford. And I was hesitant because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you could be trying to set me up. You know what I'm saying? Anything already thinking a negative. But it was something about her. And she was like, I just really need to go to this other McDonald's. I don't know. I just, my daughter. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Let's go. So I'm in the car. I was listening to Janae. And as soon as she got in the car, she was like, oh, can you please just turn the music off? And I was like, oh, it took me back a little bit. But, something in my spirit was saying, just turn the music off. Just turn the music off. She was like, I just need silence. I just need silence right now. And I was like, okay. So I turned the music off. I appeared. It appeared that she may have been homeless. I don't like to pass judgment on anybody because I don't know anybody's situation, but it appears that she could be. But, she wasn't, really disheveled or, anything like that. She didn't look, too off-putting, so I didn't pass judgment, but she could have been. So we get in the car and we at the red light. And then she just started talking to me. And she was like, you know what? Life is just so fucked up. And, I'm just in a fucked up situation. Like, I don't even want to hear music right now. I used to love music. And, I used to listen to all the music, country, hip hop, even R&B. And then she was like, I just can't stand to listen to music anymore. Like, it was like she was just so off over it. And I'm like, well, I said, maybe it's a type of music, so I'm trying to, lighten up, her mood a little bit. I'm like, maybe it's a type of music, just a casual conversation. And she's like, nah, bro, it's all of it. I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear none of it. No more. I'm just open music. So I'm like, okay. So I just let her continue to talk. And while we driving to Cheshire Bridge, and when we was at the lights, she looked at me and I looked at her. And when we locked eyes, it's like I saw all of her pain and it's I can't even explain it. But she looked so defeated. And, she continued to tell me about her story. She's from Atlanta, but she's not from Atlanta. And her family has, I'm assuming she has to be around my age, maybe early 30s, because she didn't look too old and she didn't look too young. So she got to be around my age. But she was like, her family had lied to her about everything, about her whole existence, about her whole life. And she don't know what's true. She don't know what to believe. And she has a daughter. And I guess the daughter was at someone else's house and she just wanted to make sure that the daughter was okay. And she's told me, she was like, I'm just so over life. I don't even want to be here. I'm not going to do anything to myself, but I don't even want to be here. She was like, I don't know if you feel where I'm coming from. I was like, I feel exactly where you're coming from. And I tried to lift her spirits in that moment, because I know exactly where she's coming from. I've been there. And she was like, I'm just tired of everything. She was like, and to top it off, I'm hooked. I got hooked on this ice shit. And I'm like, what is ice? I'm thinking to my head, like, what is ice? I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So when I looked it up, when I got home, I realized that it was Tina. It's another form of crystal meth. And she was like, I'm hooked on this ice shit now because I don't want to feel nothing. Like, I don't want to, everything in reality is a fucking lie. Life is a fucking lie. Everything is just fucking wrong. And this is the only thing that just makes me feel decent. And once we got to the second McDonald's, I realized that's what she was getting at the McDonald's. But it wasn't even the fact of, her going to get her fix or whatever. It was the defeat in her eyes and in her voice that I saw, because she felt like life had beat her up and put her through so much that she couldn't recover. She could not recover. She was telling me about her aspirations. She was a dancer. She was a rapper. And then that's when I put two and two together about why she doesn't like music anymore. She don't like listening to music anymore because she feel like all of her dreams and aspirations had been taken from her. And she blamed everything on life. And not to say, she wasn't dealt a bad hand, because that's the case for a lot of us. A lot of us are dealt the bad hand. But I also believe that God doesn't give you more than you can handle. And he always gives the toughest battles to the toughest soldiers. And it's all about how we navigate through those battles. That's what really matters. It really fucked me up seeing her in that position and not even knowing her. But I saw the potential. Pretty girl. But I saw that defeat in her. And no matter what I was saying to her in that car and when she got out, because I told her, I was like, I'm going to pray for you. I know you're going through bad times right now and you don't see no way out. I understand it. I said, but I'm going to pray for you. And she said, don't pray for me because my life already gone. Pray for everybody else. Continue to pray for everybody else. And seeing her get out that car and then get her fixed and let life continue to beat her down really did something to me. And I sat in my car. I pulled over and I sat for like 15 minutes because I asked God, I said, what was the purpose of this encounter? What was the purpose? Because I don't even normally let people in my car. This was a major one-off. But it was something about her, I guess the situation. I don't know. But I did. And I felt like a part of her needed to vent because I saw the defeat in her. I saw her just torn down. in the eyes, like I saw it. So I felt like a part of her just really needed to vent. And then I feel like a part of it I needed to see, to tell anybody who is feeling defeated, who is feeling like they are on their last leg and life is just took them through it. I don't know who this is for, but do not give up on yourself. We are dealt many different cards, many different situations, but with the right mindset, you can overcome all of that shit. You can overcome it all, but you can't give up on yourself. Everybody else can give up on you. Everybody else. But you can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on yourself. Because as long as you're still breathing, you got another chance. God has not given up on you. You can't give up on yourself. I saw that girl give up on herself. I seen it in her eyes. And I see so many other girls and boys giving up on themselves. Y'all can't give up. I know it's hard. I know you don't see a way out. Trust me. I've been there. But you gotta push through. You gotta push through. That shit hurt my heart seeing that girl like that. If you have dreams, if you have goals, aspirations, you can't give up on yourself. You gotta take whatever hand you are dealt and play that shit. You play it, flip it, and play it how you need to work out in your favor, but you're not giving up. And give it to God. I'm telling you, give it to God. Whatever high power you believe in, listen, turn it over. Just surrender it. But the minute you decide to give into this world, to give into these temptations, these lifestyles that you know aren't for you, that's the day you give up on yourself, and you can't give up. You may get knocked down all the way to the ground, but you get back up, you don't give up. This is a very random episode, but I don't know who it's for. I don't know. I asked God, I said, I don't know what you need me to do with this information. And when I drove off, he said, you need to talk about it. So I don't know who this episode is going to be for, but I hope it helps you get through whatever you're going through. I really do. I'll see you on the next episode.